Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Question number 2 is HSBC, the Teflon Don of banks, will be discussed.
This shit right here. Yo, when this happened, I called up Dev and me and him was talking, and I was upset, man. And it's not, and people were saying, well, this is nothing new. I'm like, no. This is something new. We already knew that there was corruption. I mean, we already knew that. So the fact that they got away with doing something is not what the issue is. The issue is these motherfuckers was doing money laundering for Al-Queda.
Yep, and they're not doing any time for it.
How the hell do you get caught red-handed and then get a slap on the wrist when you're doing money laundering for Al-Queda? So that means if there's any operations that go down, you knew who the person was that financed it, and you let them get a pass. The CIA, Homeland Security, all that shit gave them a pass. And I wanted to find out whether there was any agents that quit in light of this, because I know there was some agent that said, "Oh man, this is going to be the biggest story ever." And they went and they thought that there was going to be some arrest, and they pulled them into that office and said, "Listen, motherfucker, this is one of the top banks in the country. You really fucking think we're going to have these CEOs and executives walking down in handcuffs and end up risking losing up, destabilizing the whole banking industry? You better calm the fuck down."
Well, I used to work for a Wall Street firm, and I worked in the operations department. So I used to see transactions from people and corporations, or fake shell corporations from Saudi Arabia, Africa, and Asia.
That's funny.
But I want people to really acknowledge, man, what actually happened. They got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. And not just this dealing with Al-Queda, but they're dealing with Mexican Drug Cartels, Hamas, all kinds of crazy.
Hey, everybody got to wash. Everybody got to wash their money. Might as well come to us. And so the government, they said that the HSBC made something like $29 billion or something in profit before taxes or pre-tax something. So what they did was they hit them with a $1.9 billion fine. So, of course, everybody like, whoa, $1.9 billion.
Yeah, apparently it's the biggest fine ever.
Right. But you made $29 billion off the bullshit that you was doing. And do you really think that they're going to pay the $1.9 billion? What they're going to do is they're going to go to the Mexican Drug Cartels and Al-Qaeda and say, listen, y'all niggas better take care of this fee that we got hit with, because if you don't, we ain't going to be able to do that laundry we was doing for you. So y'all handle that, and after that, lay low for a little bit, and then just come back and holler at us. No prosecutions, no nothing.
All these banks and institutions, they all in cahoots with each other.
So before we knew that the war on drugs was a joke, we knew that, but we knew that this whole terrorism thing was a joke, but it was, it wasn't official. It wasn't out there like that. What makes this different is that now it's fucking blatant. This is like in, those like the corruption in Africa, where like you go to an airport and you hit the agent off with some dough so they let you slide. Like no matter how corrupt America is, if a TSA agent gets caught doing that shit, they losing their job. But in Africa, hey, just slide me a couple of dollars, I'll let you through. Like the corruption is so blatant, and that's exactly how it is here right now. How do you let these guys slide when they got caught? They didn't even give us a sacrificial limb.
That's because it's billions of dollars, and they all
$60 trillion worth of activity.
Yeah,
they all in it together.
60 trillion unaccounted for. We don't know. I don't know. 60 trillion, and it was all supposedly fraudulent activity, but they couldn't detect that. But you can detect $10,000. This what's his name? Spitzer is given for some hookers and holes. you saw that. You saw that activity.
Well, that's because Spitzer was trying to out those people.
Exactly. So that story, it kind of got swept under the rug once the Newtown thing came. But it didn't get swept by me. I was looking at that. And when you look at it in the newspaper, they didn't frame it the way that it should have been framed. They're like, oh, well, they got caught doing some fraudulent activity, so they got fined, the biggest fine ever. And then that was it.
Well, that's because the newspapers is down, too.
Nobody said HSBC is the money launderers for Al-Queda. Remember Al-Queda, the guys that you're claiming is like Satan the devil? Well, they got money laundering with HSBC. They didn't frame it like that.
No.
That's like
when it comes to the banks, they will not label them any kind of terrorists.
Right.
They won't relate them to terrorists at all.
That's like
so my thing is. Sorry, what was you saying, Mark?
No, I was going to say, like, the law firm I work for, they cutting deals. Now they open an office in Korea, so I already know what's up with my law firm.
So my thing is, I told Dev, now that we know what time it is, I think that people need to teach their children how to be bankers and drug dealers.
Yeah.
Because it's already been shown. Like, who's gonna
you got to do it big.
Yeah,
can't be on some $300 dope dealer kind of thing.
Exactly. Because before they said, don't be a drug dealer. Why not? Because you're above the law. You don't ever have to worry about going to jail. So teach your kids how to, cut that shit up right and get the best product. And teach your kids how to be bankers. Well, you can assure that they're not going to go to jail. They can do whatever they want to do, and that's it.
That's what the mob has done. Like I said, I used to work on Wall Street. All they kids is working in these places like HSBC. So,
That made me so angry, man. And especially in light of the fact that there's been people, like there was one case in general, the Stephanie George case, where this girl got life.
For some drugs.
That wasn't even hers.
Exactly. It's like,
well, they don't care.
It's like, no, you were in the vicinity of the drugs, so life. And yet these motherfuckers could interact and do business with the most low-life people and get absolutely nothing. Like, that $1.9 billion fine is a bunch of bullshit.
Of course.
That's like, you remember that guy, what's his name? What's the banker that they sacrificed?
Bernie Madoff?
Bernie Madoff. Madoff was in court. I swear, when this happened, my head was spinning. They were in the courtroom having a discussion on how much of the money that he stole that he could keep. I'm like, what? Well, Your Honor, my wife has been, used to a certain level of existence. I mean, what, nigga? Can you imagine me and you having that conversation? We rob a bank. We're gonna be in the courtroom talking about how much money, because my mom's, she's used to a certain level of living.
She's gonna need about $5 million.
Oh yeah. I feel you.
Well, that's big business for you.
You keep about $60 million of the money that you stole. You think that'd be good? Oh yeah, that works fine for me, Your Honor.
And the interest.
If you're gonna do something like that, you gotta do it big.
Yeah, that's the moral of the story, man. Do it big.